Hello and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Mirage and the performance that I'm getting on my Lenovo Legion Go. Just to start this video, I would like to mention that as you can see here, I've played on an average for 36 minutes and the FPS that I've drawn out of this game through the Lenovo Legion Go has been an average of 123.9. Whoa, that is insane. Is that not? Now, the reason why that's possible is because of Fluid Motion Frames. So as I go into the game, what I want to show you is that I do have AMD's Fluid Motion Frames 2 enabled, and I also have Radeon Super Resolution enabled as well. Now, Super Resolution makes sure that your visuals look crisp when you're looking at them, even though you have kept your settings on, let's say, a low renderer quality. And Fluid Motion Frames 2 is what enables your Lenovo Legion Go to now have over 120 FPS on a demanding title like Assassin's Creed Mirage. A few things that I would like to mention here is that the current version that I'm playing this with is 24.20.11.01. Now there is a version of 24.9 point something one as well. I did try to play Mirage with that, but I ran into some stuttering issues. So the performance of Mirage was the best when it was being played on this particular version. You may have to sideload this because unfortunately on Lenovo Legion Go, you do not have these drivers available yet. So you will have to sideload these AMD drivers. And how do you do that? There are a lot of videos available online. So I'm not making a video on that, but you can easily type in 24.20.11.01 driver. And you will have many tutorials as to how you go about sideloading your Adrenaline software and also this version of the Adrenaline software and the latest drivers. Now, once you've done that, what I would also recommend is to go into your BIOS settings and at least allocate 4 GB of RAM to VRAM. Because if it's kept on the default 3 GB, then you will still have issues running this game. At least that's what I personally experienced. So go into your BIOS and allocate at least 4 GB to your VRAM. How do you do that? Again, there are many videos that you can check out. So I'm not going to be talking about that. Now, what I'm going to do in this particular video is I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay first by turning off AMD's Fluid Motion Frames 2. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of footage with AMD Fluid Motion Frames turned on, and how that impacts the frame rates and the performance. We are going to be tracking through Lenovo's own software. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head into the settings here of Lenovo Legion Space settings, that is, and there is a overlay that you can use. So when you go into the settings, there is an overlay option here where you can track all the performance. So I'm going to have this overlay on, and I'm going to track all the performance. So with that said, let's finally get into this video and see the performance with AMD's Fluid Motion Frames turned off first. So I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to play with AMD Fluid Motion Frames turned on. Let's get started, folks. Hey, so right now I don't have AMD's Fluid Motion Frames turned on, but I do have the monitoring on. The first thing that I want to show you is the settings that I'm playing this with. So the screen, as you can see, has been kept at 1280 by 800. So that's the resolution that I'm currently playing on. I, of course, have 144 Hz native refresh rate. There is no FPS limit that I've set. And as far as VSync goes, I have turned it on. This is the more important settings because the world details, they've been kept on low. In fact, all the settings have been kept on low. I've even kept the screen space reflections off. You must be thinking that this is going to make sure that the game looks horrible. Trust me, it doesn't. And the sample type, the upsampling, is TAA, and I've kept that on performance mode. I'm not even using something like AMD's FSR2. So I've just kept it on TAA. And I think that actually makes the game looks comparatively better, even with these low settings turned on. When you turn it to FSR 2.0, you do take a hit. So there's a little bit of ghosting or more artifacting that happens and a lot more shimmering that happens with FSR2. So that's why I would recommend that you keep it on TAA. Yeah. So with these settings on, let's finally get into the game and see the performance of this. We finally entered the game, And I just want you to keep your eye on this tracker here as well. It says that I'm getting 60 FPS right now. Now, 60 FPS in itself is pretty decent. It's pretty good, given the fact that we are running this on Lenovo Legion Go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dismount myself from here, and I'm going to make sure that I run around. I'm just running around just to show you how smooth it plays. Are there any stutters? There are. Let me tell you that. Without fluid motion frames, when you play this game, it does stutter. It definitely does. Especially in crowded areas, it will stutter. Okay, I'm going away. Don't worry. Alright. So there, you may have already noticed that it is already having minor stutters in certain areas. Now this is because, obviously, this is me playing this without AMD's Fluid Motion Frames. The frame rates are still decent. I'm getting like 60, 50 FPS, which on a handheld device like this is pretty decent. But what takes away the experience would be those stuttering issues. Now I'm not plugged in, so I'm playing this without being plugged in to any kind of a power. So this is not bad considering that. Also, I want to show you something as to what kind of TDP I'm playing this with. So I would just go here, and I've kept it at custom 30 watts because I want to draw out the maximum performance for the sake of this video. Now, if you do want to save battery, then I would recommend going either into performance or the balance mode. It will negatively impact the game's performance, but at least you will save on the battery. So 30 watts TDP, everything is maxed out right now in terms of the thermal performance. So this is something that I wanted to mention as well. The performance is not bad. If only it did not have those stuttering issues, I in fact would not mind playing it with these settings. It's the stuttering which takes away the experience. Does AFMF fix the stuttering issue? We'll find out in just a bit when I show you footage from the same game with AFMF 2 turned on. You remember how I spoke about those reflections? Even without them, the water still looks pretty good on this small screen. Please note that the dynamics of playing this game on a screen like this with these low settings changes because this is not a massive screen like a 13 or a 15.6 inch. It's a small screen, yeah? And with that small screen, even if you play this on low settings, everything still looks pretty good. Look at this. Look at the detailing here. Now, Radeon Super Resolution is also doing a great job. So the leaves, everything looks pretty good. The foliage looks nice. The tree leaves, there's still a lot of detail, whether it's in broad daylight or whether it's during the night time near the bazaar. You're going to have a fantastic experience playing this on your Lenovo Legion Go. Now that I've shown you the performance without AMD's Fluid Motion Frames, which mainly hovers between 50 to 60s, now let me get into the same game with AMD's Fluid Motion Frames turned on. I'm going to try something while this game is on, and that is if I can turn it on mid-game or not, or do I have to restart the game. So I'm going to try that very quickly here. I'm going to go into my Adrenaline software, and I'm going to enable AMD's Fluid Motion Frames from here. And then I'm going to get back into the same game, and I'm going to see if it impacts the performance here, or do I have to restart the game. So let's try to find that out as well. So immediately, AMD's Fluid Motion Frames takes effect, and I don't have to restart the game. That's the beauty of using AMD's Adrenaline software. As you can see, I didn't even have to restart because that whole thing takes away from the experience because it is a waste of time after all. So here, wherein I was getting 50 to 60 FPS or 65, I'm already in the hundreds now. And as far as the stuttering goes, let's see if I face any of those stuttering issues by running around. It feels a lot more smoother. Well, there was a stutter there. But it feels much, much smoother than earlier. There are the occasional stutters, and I think you can still make a few changes to the game. Now, please note, I am playing this on TAA, by the way, as far as upscaling goes. If you have any questions about the performance or the settings, you can reach out to me via the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you have liked the content, I would greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing to my channel, hitting that like button, and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. As far as this video goes, it's a wrap for this one. I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.